Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
Really good. Your face is so slim. You look so good. Oh,
I did, truth be told, I did like try to do my hair and put some makeup on because I was like,
oh,
uh-oh.
that's sweet. Well, I'm so glad that you're doing this with me. I'm going to tell you, we are going to have a lot of people, a lot of women really, really wanting to watch this.
Good.
Yeah, because I'll tell you why. So many of them are so afraid to eat calories. And
Yeah, I listened to your Zoom meeting the other night and I was like amazed.
yeah.
Well, how can you be full? You're not even eating anything.
I know. But leptin drops and it takes that's on purpose, when we're starving ourselves to death. Basically,
Yeah,
it's a built-in thing. When we're eating such low calories all the time, our body wants to shut down that response so we don't feel so hungry all the time because there's not food. Well,
makes sense.
there is food, but if we
Right.
damn it, right, it would be.
Right.
And so yeah, it's just crazy. So I'm glad you're doing this with me. I think it's really going to help a lot of women. And even outside of, when we finally do lose weight, it's women don't know what to do next. And they just want to start eating like they used to and gain it all back. And that's what I have done again and again.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is probably the longest I would say. I wouldn't call this a diet. This is a longest lifestyle I've kind of committed to. I've always been like relatively low carb,
Mhm.
but that's what did it do for me? Nothing.
And now you're eating a lot of carbs.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Carbs do we have you on? I'd have to look. Like,
It's over 200.
yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yes, yes.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy. Well, I remember when you came on, you were talking about low carb diets, and I had some questions here, and I want to make sure I get to them because
Okay.
um, I think they're important that I stay on task because you know me, I will be all over the place. I will. I will. So, this first question I think is a really good one. Can you tell us a little bit about where you were when you first started and how you were feeling about your body and your progress back then?
So when I first started, when I signed up, I was just really at probably a really low point in my body. I hadn't been that much weight in a while, and I was really depressed because I hadn't been that large in a while, and I kind of felt like, I'm going to the gym. Sure, I'm probably cheating because I'm not really writing down everything that I'm eating, but gosh, what is going on with me? And, when I started the program, it was so hard. It's really so hard, but really good. It made me very disciplined, which I realized that I wasn't at all prior to starting.
Right. Macros were hard, I'm sure, right?
Macros is one of those things that I've heard people talking about, and I had no clue what it was. I was like, I don't know what that means. I couldn't figure it out on my own. I was like, I don't know what to do with this. Yeah, so I'm supposed to be balancing my macros, but what is that? Like what am I doing?
Yeah.
And when we started, then I was like, oh, okay, you're supposed to eat a certain amount of something per day. Never knew that.
Yeah. You're doing well now it's just easy for you, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm kind of really dependent on that calorie counter portion of the app. I love it. I really love it because it makes it so easy. And I'm kind of in a rhythm. Like I know what to eat and what not to eat and how I'm going to get my fiber in because I didn't know anything about fiber before either. So it's just like my eyes are open to a whole new world of difference.
Yeah. Your body has just transformed. And one thing about you as well is that you are very disciplined. And it's funny to hear that you weren't in the past because all I know from you is that your commitment, your consistency, and your discipline. And I have seen it.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that's made you very, very successful, you know? So to hear that you weren't like that, it's weird to me because that's all
Yeah.
I've only known you that. So it says you mentioned trying lower carb diets and other diets. And what
Right.
made you feel like those things weren't sustainable for you?
Um, I felt like when I was on the low carb diets, I was always hungry, right? I mean, I haven't actually done keto, but I've done like keto like. I did this one really old diet that was like based on your blood type. I don't even know what the hell that was. I
Yeah,
did the South Beach diet, I did the low carb. It was just, I couldn't really maintain things. And I guess that's why I started eating so many carbs because I had been not eating any carbs. So right before I started on the program, maybe I went a little crazy. I don't know, but I was like, I'm like craving carbs now because I didn't have any. And I think it was just so unbalanced that it just wasn't sustainable for me.
yeah. Do you feel like you've learned a lot about your nutrition so that as you go forward, when you do eventually quit tracking, that you're going to know, what your nutrition should look like from day to day?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I mean, it took me a while, because I didn't really know anything about it, but I would say now I know what to eat. I mean, it sounds weird, but I was also on Weight Watchers, and on Weight Watchers, you could eat as many fruits and veggies as you wanted. But since I started tracking them in the app, I realized, oh my God, wait, fruits have carbs. That's not good all the time, all of that sugar and all of those carbs. And then I was like, wow, wow. So I feel like through using the app and tracking, I kind of know like these are some really good low sugar fruits that you can have. And don't have like, this big, big apple. Have half of the apple
Mhm.
and, mix it with some peanut butter, not peanut butter. I don't eat peanut butter anymore, but I eat the PB powder.
Yeah.
So to kind of balance it with something that is higher protein, keep you full, I feel like I can do now.
Yeah. That I think is a hang up, thinking about tracking your macros for most women. I have women that come on and just, it's hard for them. And I try to step it out. I think
Mhm.
even more so now than when you started, because I realize it is overwhelming. For me, it was overwhelming too. But I think that in itself has caused women to not even try. But I feel like it is so
Mhm.
because you learn so much about your nutrition, just like you said.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Without that portion of it, the understanding of your nutrition, just like Weight Watchers, you weren't understanding that. But with this tracking,
Right. Yeah, I would say that's definitely true. And I've been weighing things from the beginning. I think that's really important also because when I wasn't weighing and measuring things, I was assuming. And, once I actually put things on the scale and I saw how much 4 ounces really is,
yeah,
and, how many grams is whatever, that was like a real eye opener to me. So
me,
it's so important.
me too, me too. Let's see, what else do I want to ask you here? This one is a big one. When we first started raising your calories, what were some of the fears that you had about eating more? And did you think that that was going to cause you to have weight gain?
Oh my God, yeah, of course. I mean, I think we're all conditioned to if you eat less, you will not gain weight and you will lose weight. And, it's all about the calorie deficit. And what happens when we're adding more calories is like really scary. Like, I've worked so hard to get to this place and I really don't want to gain weight again.
Right.
So I think that was like the biggest fear.
Mm.
And then as we started and we moved forward and we kept raising calories and I was doing the workouts and I saw that I wasn't gaining weight, I was like, oh, hey, this is working. Now I get it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember on this journey with everyone, including you, losing weight from week to week. I'll ask you, what was your weight? And
Hmm.
I have to focus on it because I need to know where we are. Right. But
Right.
building muscle and all that is a priority. And I hate to just focus on the scale. That's why we do measurements and things like that,
Hmm. Hmm.
which are hard for women to do. right? They're so hard to do. But in your case, I mean, when you were losing weight and I'd ask you your weight, I remember those times. I get uncomfortable even asking women that. And I do this every day.
Right.
I know that it's never, no matter how much they lost, that it's not enough, usually, you know?
Right. Right.
And that's hard. And you and I were on this diet for a long time, cutting calories.
Yeah.
And, how did you feel from week to week? Did you lose weight every single week or what did that look like?
I think in the beginning I lost a lot. And then there was a time where I plateaued. And I think I even had a call with Wade and he was like, it's okay. It's all right. And I was like, no, it's not all right. I want to be losing weight every week. And, then I would go another week and I would lose more weight. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe it was something. And there was something that he said to me that was really important when he said something like, I said like, oh, I ate this day and I weighed myself and then I weighed more the next day. And he's like, there's no possible way that you ate that much to gain a pound in a day. It's water weight. It's not what you ate. And I was like, okay, yes, you are correct. And it
So
made me feel so much better because I was like, okay, I'm not broken. I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way. You get on the scale and then the next day you weigh more and you're like, but I didn't even do anything wrong.
right. That waterway, it
Oh, gosh.
fluctuations and hormones fluctuating cause us
Yes.
water to lose water. It's very normal. But that process for you, I mean, your body transformed. And I know women that will look at that and say, well, that could never be me.
I
I
didn't think it could ever be me.
Mhm.
I mean, like when we started, I was like, okay, I'm gonna, get down to my weight. So I started at 175, which was like way more than I was when I used to be. And I was like, okay, I think I could realistically get down to 140. And, going forward, when I got to 140, I was like, you know what? I think I want to go more. I want to get better. I want to feel different. And then I got to like, I think the lowest was like maybe like 126. And I
Uh-huh.
was like, okay, I think I'm done losing weight. And now I want to like feel better. I want to feel tighter. And that's when we really started to ramp up the weights.
Yeah.
And I mean, my body looks so different now.
Your body does look so different.
It's amazing to me. I'm like in the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
And I used to run marathons. And for me, I thought I was skinny then, and I was skinny, but I looked like flabby. And now I look pretty damn good. I'm like really happy with my reflection at the gym.
Isn't that awesome? So you went in to get your hair done and you hadn't been for a little while. What did she say to you? She noticed right away.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. He's actually a guy, and he said to
Oh,
me like, "Wow, you look so toned." And I was like, "Thank you. I've been working hard." So I've also learned how to like accept compliments because um, I think that's really hard for a lot of people too. So it's just something that kind of comes with, you look good, you're working hard, you feel good. It's just when people are gracious about that, it's amazing.
yeah. Those wins, you don't think that you're going, none of us think. I mean, I've never met a person anyways that thought I could get to my goal and be happy with where I am. And I love that you said that you love your reflection in the mirror because my reflection in the mirror, I have beat myself up. There's things I have said to myself and just focused on certain parts of my body that I just would never talk to anyone like the self-love thing because we've got one life, one body, and we need to,
Yeah.
hey, you've put in a lot of hard work and to celebrate that is a beautiful thing. You
It's awesome. I've had people come up to me at the gym that I don't even know that have seen me going to the gym since probably like last September, which was before I started on the program. And even in like May, maybe or June, they came up to me and they're like, you look amazing.
That's
I'm
awesome.
like, thank you. I don't know you, but I will take every compliment. Thank you so much.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. So I know that you had to fear raising those calories, especially at first, right?
Yeah,
And let's
definitely.
a little bit because that I have women come on the program all the time and they're eating. I kid you not. Some women are eating 5, 6, 700 calories a day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating. And, they'll tell me I hear this probably 95% of the time is I want to lose weight and I want to get toned is the words that they use.
Hmm.
And to lose weight, if you've been eating 700 calories a day, that means you're very much in control of your diet. So it was different for me. At one time I was overweight, and then another time I was very strict on my calories and very restrictive and
Hmm.
how many calories I was eating. But I got very small and I just kept thinking, I've got to lose the body fat. But I didn't understand what I was doing back then, right? And I remember going to the gym about 2 years, and I was afraid to raise the calories. It scared the heck out of me. It did. I thought I'm gonna gain all the weight back.
Hmm.
Time I raised calories in the past, I did gain weight. I gained them. I gained weight rapidly. I came off keto, and I think I gained, gosh, I can't remember now, close to 40 pounds in, like, 2 months or something like that. Crazy.
Yeah.
And so for me, that was a big head game. Like, how do I raise these calories up? Because they kept saying you have to raise your calories, to gain muscle, and your
Hmm.
metabolism is low, and all these things like that. And I'm like, I don't know how. I don't understand that. So I can imagine your fear when I said we've got to raise them. You know?
Oh yeah. It's just so scary. But I think, for whoever is afraid to do that, you got to take that leap because, think about what you've been doing and you haven't done this type of program before. Um, you have to try something new because what you're doing isn't working, right? Because if it was, you wouldn't be here, right? So you have to kind of think like, okay, maybe I have to take a leap of faith and try it.
Mhm.
And I think that's really important because we get so like stuck in our ways that we're like, no, it's going to be this way. It's not going to work, but you got to try it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So I have on here many women do feel stuck after losing weight and they feel like their metabolism is broken. And that's where I was. What would you say to someone who feels like they're in that spot right now?
I would say it's perfectly normal, but you got to push through and you can do this and you're going to be good. You're going to keep feeling better. You're going to get stronger, understanding that getting stronger is really going to help you in the long run. And you want to be strong. And to be strong, you got to eat more calories. You got to lift those weights. I mean, to lift the weights, you got to eat the food. You have to just take that leap. And I'm living proof it's going to work. I
Yeah.
mean,
You know,
I just feel so strong now. It's awesome.
that is awesome. You know what I said, and I've said this to you when we've been on the phone for your coaching calls, is that every time I ask you your weight, and then I'll ask you because I love hearing you giggle. I mean, you'll just start giggling, and I'm like, this is awesome. Because you coaching calls, I'm like, oh, I hear women all day going, oh, because they're not at their weight goal, they're not where they want to be. And but with you, it's so different than it used to be because now I'll say, did you ever think you would be eating this many calories and losing weight? We're over, we've been over 2,000 calories a day and you will just giggle. And I love it. And you'll know, I didn't think so, you know?
It's so true. I never thought that. And even I think there were a few times when I was eating really high calorie and working out, and I'm actually hungry. And we would raise the calories again. I mean, that to me is hilarious because you would think in your mind, my gosh, how can she be eating 2,000 calories a day? And she's still hungry? Wow. And she's still losing weight? What is going on in this crazy upside down version of reality? But it's true.
It is reality though. So that's what, we call it a metabolic reset. And it's so scary to women because
Yeah.
we're 80s babies, most of us are 90s babies, and we're looking at you ate salads to lose weight. You
Right.
ate very little. I'm just having a salad for lunch. I hate salads, to be really honest. But
Me too.
I went around my friends, we go out and everyone was like eating, these meals that were just like that. And I would too. And really, I'm a meat and, veggies kind of girl, just a steak. Give me a steak. And I mean,
Yeah.
so it's weird to see that you would lose weight. And to me, every time I do this process with a woman, it blows my mind because I would call you, I would check your weight before I called you for your coaching call. And I would be like, oh my gosh, Virginia lost weight again. And we just upped the calories. And I couldn't believe it. And there was a point where you just kept losing weight every week. And we'd have
Yeah.
bringing those calories up.
Yeah.
And I remember at one time in the beginning, you said, I'm so full, I'm so full. And that changed. It was like, I'm hungry.
And I can't believe how many carbs I'm eating. And sometimes I'm still hungry.
And
It's
that,
like, I can't believe I'm eating like normal pasta. Like, who am I? I hadn't had before we started to raise my calories. I don't think I had like real pasta for like so long because I was on the no carb thing. So whenever we didn't go out to eat Italian because I would just refuse to go because there's nothing to eat if you're not eating pasta. Now I'm like, "Ah, I can have some of that pasta. This
and
is
that,
great."
yeah, it is awesome. Yeah, because that's the thing we're taught. You stay away from the carbs.
Right.
And I was so ingrained in me that I still have that in my head. Like,
Hmm.
I shouldn't order that. And I'm sure you probably have that in your head too.
Oh yeah. Well, I have my go-tos. I'm like, anytime I see salmon on the menu, I'm like, I'm getting salmon.
Mhm.
So that's part of just my whole mentality. But yeah.
Yeah, that's neat. Very neat. Let's see. Okay, this is a good one. What's been the biggest shift in how you think about food, fitness, and overall health since joining BodBabes?
I let's see. I would say I think of it as this is the way I'm going to be now. It's not something that I have to do, it's something that I want to do. I think that, eating differently, I've seen how it has changed me and I want to keep eating that way. I don't want to fall back into my old patterns. And so I think it's like a whole shift in the mindset of this is what I do now. I don't um fall back into those old patterns because I have just seen the progress and I just want to live that way.
You said that whenever you started macros, counting your macros and understanding your food and tracking your food, that was hard. But also, there are two hards. And I have women
Mm.
who will never do that because they think it's too hard for me. I can't learn it. But on the other side of that, there's the heart of staying where you are. And both of those were hard. You signed up and then you chose to stick with it and to learn, you know, for a lady who just wants to give up and just stay there. I think about that hard. I remember that hard, for me, just beating
Hmm.
myself up in the mirror, not happy. I remember walking into rooms wearing Spanx, but still worried about how my shirt was covering, if it was covering my Spanx, those kind of things. That was hard.
Exactly. I'd rather, uh, to me, it's not hard to do the whole tracking and the macros because you're right. Who wants to live that way, worrying about how you look and always feeling like you're not good enough, you don't look good enough. When you feel good, I always say this to my husband. I always say, when you look good, you feel good, everything is great. You know, I don't want that. I take that hard of tracking the food because I don't want to feel the other hard. I don't like that hard.
Me too.
I don't, I used to not look at myself in the mirror because I didn't like it. And I would try to, get dressed quickly in the dark. And I didn't like it. Now, oh my gosh, so different.
Awesome. It's very awesome. This has clearly been a really life-changing journey for you. And what can you say that you are most proud of right now?
I would say I'm proud that I've changed my mindset about eating carbs, right? I'm proud that I can go into a room and I feel confident. I don't feel like I want to hide. Um, I'm proud that, when there's something to be done, I feel like I have the energy and I'm fit and I am strong enough to I can sit on the floor with my kid and play, and then I can go out and play basketball, and I can do all of these things because I just feel so much better in my body.
That's so good. So good. So, one more question. And I thank you so much for spending your day with me. I really
Oh,
do.
of course.
For those who are watching and thinking about starting BodBabes, what would you say to them about what would you say to them about why now might be the perfect time to take that step? And we're at the
Oh,
holidays.
I think it's the best time, honestly. It's like you have to just take the step and stop putting yourself off. You should try putting yourself first. And I think that taking that step, you're going to feel so much better, and you should make yourself a priority.
Do you still, speaking of the holidays, one more question, sorry. Have you enjoyed the holidays still? Will you enjoy the holidays now? Because I think people think I can't live life. That we have that on a diet, off a diet mentality.
Right.
Do you still enjoy special days and things like that?
Oh, yes. I already have my cookies planned that I'm going to be making for Christmas, so I'm already on it, and they're not low calorie, they're not low fat, they're like, dipped in chocolate type of stuff. I think now I know my limits, I can have a cookie. I'm not going to have 10 cookies. I don't need 10 cookies. I need one cookie. And then I'm going to give them away. I'm going to move them to a different floor in my house so that it's not so accessible to me. And I'm going to enjoy the day. Thanksgiving, I'm going to make a poke cake with really rich, delicious, food, and it's going to be fattening, but it's going to be one day. It's one meal. I think it's all about balance, and you can enjoy those days, and you just have to focus on your overall happiness and think about the other days. You don't need to eat that way every day. And, you know, you can get up and have that meal with your family and enjoy everything about the holiday. And it doesn't need to constantly be focused on food and overeating.
You're right. You know what I see is I see a woman who has a really balanced mindset now. Instead of, I got to be on a diet, I'm completely off the diet and just do whatever I want, in that cycle. It is, you're balanced. And that's
Yes,
that right there, changing your mindset. When you change your mind, the way you think about things, it changes your whole life. And that's what you've done.
exactly.
That mindset change that's what will help you win for the rest of your life. Here's the cool thing, it's not just going to help you in your diet and nutrition, build in those skills and those disciplines that you have.
Hmm.
So I love it. Thank you so much for your time, Virginia.
My pleasure.
I'm proud of you. I couldn't be more proud of you.
Thank you.
You leave BodBabes because I know you're going to be gone real soon, but you have to go. But that's part of it. It's just like, I'm so excited to see how you do. And I hope you keep in touch, but I hope you don't ever need me again. But if you do,
I know, me too.
sometimes we need to just be around or have a coach in our corner. even when we know what to do. But I wish you all the best. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time today.
All right. Bye-bye.